Oh my goodness, YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. This is Yin and Yang Live. This is a special edition version. Now, this was planned before the Snyder Cut announcement even came out today. It was going to be real talk with Jody and Andy for this week's Yin and Yang. I was a bit sour of last week's episode of Yin and Yang, and I still am, but this is going to be a great opportunity to talk Snyder. How about we just make this whole entire stream talk about the Snyder Cut and everything that comes with DC's future. It's going to be a lit stream. Chaos will presume. Moderators, load your clips. We will need it. I'm looking at people with blue wrenches. Blue wrenches who are not on their job will be losing their blue wrenches. This is a good test. This is a good test of exactly what moderators can do. For sure. I got the homie Andy with me, bro. What's good, Andy, at the house signor?
Yeah, man. I've been waiting to have this conversation with you. So many people keep asking me, yeah, but when's Jody going to chime in? And when?
Oh, they love me that much.
You and I have talked privately. I'm not going to, but you know, because I've been hearing speculations, and we can tell me if you want to discuss that. But I had been hearing speculations, but I couldn't report on it. But I clued you in because I know you don't leak shit. I was very interested where this is going because I know where you stand on this. So yeah, this will be a fun stream to really get to it all and get real about it all.
This is really going to be one of those streams, guys. It's going to be epic. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be some war. It's going to be some love. It's going to be a whole lot of shit going on up in this motherfucker. So yeah, we're talking about that goddamn Snyder Cut. Here it is. This is it. The Snyder Cut is coming.
Jody.
What's next for DC?
It's happening, Jody. I just for the fans. Jody, it's happening. How are you feeling? What's your reaction to this?
I feel great. Now, look, let me tell you guys something. I told you guys that I wasn't going to talk any more Snyder. I was done with it after mic drop. I was done. And people, why aren't you talking about it, man? What about the tweets and rumors a few days ago? I told y'all I ain't talk about it until the Snyder news comes out confirmed. Well, it's been confirmed, and that's why I'm doing this video. Jody ain't never scared, bruh. Believe that. I got heart. So now that we're here, I have three factors. I put the video out already, but off top, this is terrible for DC. This is terrible for the future of the DC universe, the DC fandom. Everything is going to be divided. The Snyder cult, not the Snyder Cut movement, the Snyder cult movement will not let DC move forward. Expect Ben Affleck to return. Expect them to want Ben Affleck to return. Release the Ben Affleck. Bring him back. Bring back Zack Snyder back to helm the DC universe. They want him as president of his operations. Bring back a Cyborg movie. We need a Cyborg film. We are in for a nightmare as DC fans, as far as the ones who wanted the future to be bright. And I'm including some Snyder Cut fans who just wanted Snyder's movie, but also want the future of DC to be bright. Us and them have a tough future ahead of us. But what I've learned from the cut is that the cut allows the cult to be toxic so long as it's in their benefit. So when the DC universe is getting trashed and wrecked by the cult in the future, I think the cut is just going to be okay with it, like they were okay for the last 2 years of this war happening. Warner Brothers giving Air Force One, Andy, you remember the movie Air Force One?
Mm-hmm. Harrison Ford?
Yeah. They wanted to release the Russian president, and Glenn Close, his vice president, said, we got to let him go. And Harrison Ford was like, no. Well, we have to, sir. They have you. He said, give a mouse a cookie. And she finished the line. He's going to want a glass of milk. And that's exactly.
We can't negotiate with terrorists. Yep. I hear you, man.
Exactly. And they said, and once they released the general, they said, all right, now release my family. I'm sorry, I lied. Now that I know that you're so willing to negotiate, we could use you. Once you break that line and go against your own word and your own rules, your wall comes down and it means nothing. DC could announce a film right now that the cult doesn't like, and they'll bash that shit out of existence. Because what happens is the cult feels empowered right now. And they got power. That shit was empowering. I have to understand that people in the Snyder Cut got to feel empowered. I'm happy for them that y'all got your cut. That Zack Snyder's film is going to get finished. I get that. We're going to dive deep, me and Andy, into all this shit. But this is just an overall projection of where my mind state is for Andy to know so we can have this discussion moving forward. So, Andy, do you have a pretty good glimpse of where my head is at?
Yeah, and I'm with you on it. I mean, it's interesting because I've been taking the last 2 days to try and really just download it all and like watch the reactions. And I have to say, yes, the cult is in force, but the Snyder Cut fans, like the rational ones, there are some actually out there, Jody. They've been pretty cool, surprisingly, and I got to give them
Snyder
respect.
Cut.
Props. There are people out there who wanted this cut. Some of them in here are being respectful, who just really want to see that version of the movie. And I watched Man of Steel again today to sort of prep for that because I wanted to watch. And I'll be honest, I liked it a little bit more than I did previously. It's still not my favorite. I'm not like turning, but I liked parts of it more. But then the parts that I don't like ruin it. But my point is, like, I can see why there are fans to this material, why they're so into it.
Yeah, I get it.
I get why they're into it. I don't want to disrespect.
Is that right for the future of the characters, though?
So, my point is, like, I understand why there's a passionate group behind this movement.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, good for them. They pulled this off. But it's really good for Zack Snyder. And I want to talk about sort of how this all happened and from what I've gathered. But to answer your question, and we'll get there. To answer your question, no, I'm wholeheartedly agree with you. Like the cult is already in force of, see, women, you deserve to be canceled next. Blah, blah, blah. I've got, I'm just muting or blocking all these people who are sort of just immediately jumping back into threads. Say, you told you were a freaking idiot. You should never work again. It's like, guys, news changes. News changes happen. So this toxic cult of people who are just who call this the war. Like I've seen I've already gotten a few tweets of people who are like, this war isn't over. I'm like, it was never a war, guys. And so my whole them. Any Snyder fan who actually is excited for this news, you got to step up and be more vocal against these trolls. Yeah. Because they are the problem here. Because I'm with you. All your nerves are correct, but I'm hoping there are rational SnyderCut fans like, look, we got it. I'm excited. Thank you.
They should disappear into the sunset, right?
Totally. They should be like, we got it. Thank you. Looking, whatever.
Do you think that's going to happen, Andy?
Well, no, there's going to be the cult. There's going to be that loud minority who are going to now hate everything we do and say, why don't we get this? But now the Cyborg movie,
right there that Andy just admitted to is my only problem with the movement, is that the movement had the cult within it who is toxic and doesn't want DC to move forward.
Yeah, and they don't push back against it. They sit there quietly, sort of smiling.
And let it happen.
Yeah. I'm not going to say that, but go ahead. Nice one. Exactly. It happened a lot, guys. And so I can't say they all did it. I can't say they're all trolls, but there were a lot of people just passively watching and saying, yeah, kick that guy. Oh yeah. They were enjoying watching people get kicked. And that's where it's problem. But I also want to go back and say, because I was trying to be, objective about this all. There were a lot of people who were like, it's never happening. Screw Snyder. The movies are trash. F it, blah, 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 blah.
Were you one of those people?
No, I wasn't. I
wasn't one of those people. I was never the mind. It was never going to happen.
Some people were accusing you of that, and
of course they did. Of course they did. Let me clear the air real quick.
Neither of us ever said, right? Just because we don't like movies.
Let me shout out to Stay Go Bang $5 donation. Thank you, bro. He says it's still real. Jody Damas is still real, but like Yoda said, always in motion. The future is if handled right by both the studio and the DC fans will be great. No toxics, please. Thank you. Jody Damas is real because my Jody Damas moment. What I've always said is that there's no cut, and he pretty much proved there's no cut. And his own admission, he proved it off the live stream. There's no cut. He needed the 30. I heard he got more than $30 million for this.
Yeah, well, Hollywood Reporter, just to confirm you, because Jody Damas is correct, Hollywood Reporter did an interview with him that came out, I don't know if you read it yet, but absolutely confirmed that the movie that they screened in February was far from done. And that's also why a lot of the notes were like, this movie can't come out.
It also said that in the Hollywood Reporter article that he had to pitch him and finish the story for him verbally.
Like, so what's frustrating is there's a lot of fans who are like trying to put words in our mouth or say, Nobody knew the facts. This was just because the studio is saving face right now and saying, yes, we were talking since November when those tweets happened. Guys, the reason the SnyderCut hashtag even happened was because he wasn't getting any movement, right? He had to push back against Warner Brothers to get it. That's why everyone was, turned into the hashtag. And so for them to be like, no, this was always here's where I do want to give respect. I'm curious your take. Zack Snyder, bravo, sir. You stood up. You kept going. You didn't give up. I don't think he was disrespectful. I think a lot of his fans were disrespectful, but he wasn't. He kept the ball eyeing the prize. He and his sort of tight-knit crew, they made it happen. They crossed the finish line. And there's a lot of people that are like, damn, how did you pull that off? And I don't think it was an easy battle for him. I don't think Warner Brothers made it easy for a second. So I got no beef with Snyder and anything. He deserves his victory lap on this because you don't think that was a hard battle fought?
No, I don't feel the way you feel about the whole Zack Snyder situation. I feel like he handled it very messily. I think he let a lot of people go out there and say some toxic things, and he let a lot of bad things happen, and he just stayed quiet. I feel like he wasn't vocal enough and clear enough about him having a cut, what the cut that he said existed actually is, and where his stance on it was with Warner Brothers. He just left it in the air and let people assume and make up narrative and make it toxic. In my opinion, I don't think he handled it well enough, because he should have came out and been clear. Look, I finished the film, but there's incomplete. It's incomplete, and I need money to make it a real cut to actually pitch it to Warner Brothers to show. He never came out and said the movie's not finished and the cut doesn't really exist. What they're saying a cut is raw footage. And excuse me, I don't know what world y'all live on, but maybe I'm retarded, because I didn't know that raw footage consists of a cut. I didn't know that raw footage could be a cut of a movie. It's not. But people are saying because he shot the scenes on the camera and it's raw, before it even goes to the editing and the post room, it's a cut. I'm sorry. You need an editor and post-production to make it a cut. That's what makes it a finished cut. Here is my cut of the movie. The cut wasn't even done when he showed it to AT&T Warner Brothers executives, according to the Hollywood Reporter article.
It's true. And to echo that, he said in November, like, apparently they asked us then, and that's when we went back. He says, quote, him and Deborah are like, well, that's when we went back to see what could we make. So all those tweets, it's a fair point.
So that shows that Snyder wasn't being honest.
Shows he wasn't being honest. That is a fair criticism. The more you think that you say that, I think
saying the cut exists. I got the cuts right here. He tweeted the photo of the cut. Here's the cut.
Yeah, that's where a lot
Jason
of our
Momoa. What did Jason Momoa see, Andy?
Right. You know, and you're right, and that's a reality that the fans, a lot of these toxic fans aren't going to. It doesn't matter what you tell them; they're never going to acknowledge
exactly.
That. But the reality is, like, this was not a clear cut.
No.
We knew from the beginning story that they want to sort of own, and I agree. The worst part of all of this is he just empowered thousands of trolls who are just going to now and it's just like, oh God, why? What the bully shouldn't have won in this situation.
Yep.
But at the same time, I feel I'm happy for the genuine fans, because I do want to admit.
I am happy for them. I'm happy for them, because this is what the Snyder Cut to me is. The Snyder Cut purist movement is, I want to see Zack Snyder's vision be complete without the corporate interference. I believe in that. So for that, kudos, congratulations. I'm glad you guys got it. But to be honest here, Andy, it doesn't even seem that the real Snyder Cut is ever going to come out. Do you know what I mean? He said there has to be a lot of work done. He said it's going to be, in the article, it's going to be something totally different.
Yeah, he's totally changing it now, which again proves what were you guys fighting for?
Wait,
that exists already.
So if Zack Snyder says it's going to be totally different, what was the purpose of the cut movement? You wanted the actual cut
Jody,
of the film he shot.
They knew from the beginning that this was gonna happen. It's like it
hurts my brain. He basically came out and said, now it's going to be, the cut that you guys have been wanting for 3 years that I said I have right here in this tin can. Oh, well, forget about that. It's going to be something totally different now. Oh my God. That wrecks my sheep. And you know what I feel like he's going to do? He's going to add scenes that tie into movies that just came out for DC to latch onto them, Andy. Imagine something that ties into Aquaman 2, Wonder Woman 84. Imagine something that ties in to Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad 2. A little nudge, little question here and there to make the Snyder cult fans be like, ooh, see, this is his universe. This means that. I swear, they need to gauge what Snyder does with this miniseries or 4-hour movie, whatever the format is. We need to look at him with a close microscope.
Garza was on my channel. I've interviewed a couple times. He called it. He called it back then.
He did. Shout out to him then. Yeah.
So I got a shout out to that. Give him props, because he was the first one. Was like, I think it's going to be a series. And I was
Tony Trombetta, $5. Shout out to Tony Trombetta. Let me get to these donations. The only good thing that might come from releasing the cut is that we might get more Henry Cavill Superman in future films. That's it. I'm going to talk about that. We're going to discuss about that. Boonda, $5. Shout out to my dude, Boonda. I appreciate you, Boonda. He says it comes out in 2021. Are we really going to care that much by then? By 2021, we'll be back to normal. People care so much now because they're bored and at home. They'll care. I still think they'll care. It's a big thing. The movement still wants it. And to be honest with you, I can't wait to see it and review it. But,
yeah, me too.
But mind you, it's not even going to be what they've been wanting all this time, Andy.
Correct.
It's not the cut they've been wanting.
That is the biggest thing to take away from all of this. And I'm going to remember that, because it's like, what were they fighting for? It exists. It exists. It exists. We knew it exists.
Where's that?
Guys, it didn't exist. Everything that's been reported of people saying it didn't exist, all these people you're trying to bury in the sand say we told you so. Zach's own words just proved, well,
his own words.
We need to redo it because we're doing a whole different thing. Then it didn't exist.
It's going to be a whole different thing.
It didn't exist.
That tells you God damn.
Let me go off on a tangent here because I have some insight and I want your thoughts because as I'm reading the Hollywood Reporter, they're saying Zach and Deborah are saying, well, when the hashtag movements came and back was in November, Jody, and like everyone started tweeting and it became worldwide. They're saying that's when the studio actually reached out, Toby Emmerich, and said, well, what do you have? And then, by February, they had a cut that they screened and then, they were excited at the cut and then, Bud Light happened and then suddenly they couldn't do it. And now but now they're happy to figure it out. That's the narrative we're being told right now. BS. Hollywood, tell me one time, Jody, where Hollywood comes out and says, yeah, we really didn't want to do this movie, but this pandemic has forced our hand. And you know what? We don't like it, but some audience wants it, so we're just going to do it. When would they ever admit that? They're never going to admit that. Neither party is going to admit to the negative parts of the negotiation process. But this implication that it was just smooth sailing since November, to me, call total BS. From what I've heard, there were Warner Brothers execs who wanted nothing to do with this. Everything I reported was accurate. But then it shifted. That when that studio screening happened, there were people who probably liked it or said it was fine, but it was a mess. It wasn't done. As he's admitted, it's acknowledged he had to pitch it after the screening. It was a piece of ass because it wasn't anywhere near done, and he did need $20 million. I was the one who put that number out there through our source. That's now been also confirmed. But the problem was what they're not admitting is this idea of someone stepped in at the end and renegotiated while the deal was sort of seemingly off the table. Came back to say, okay, fine. Yeah, you can have your 20 million. Let's make this an event. And why, Jody? To me, honestly, why? Bud Light clearly putting them in a huge pickle right now where they need content like crazy. They are and because they're launching HBO Max, which is what a lot of people implied, and they were correct in thinking it. Why wouldn't you want to launch that right now? The problem is, like, you look at the film library and everything you have, sure, it looks cool, but now you have thousands of Army members who are now tweeting HBO Max right now. The timing couldn't have been more like, just do it. Just give it to them. We need the promotion now because it launches in a week and we need something out there that's going to get social media traction. So I genuinely believe that's what really set them over the edge of they realized, crap, the Bud Light's screwing us. We don't have anything really massive at launch. Let's just announce that thing. Great. Oh, the 20th, whatever, the anniversary of Man of Steel. Zach, fine. We'll agree. Here's the money. Just get it done.
I don't disagree with none of that. All that makes sense. I think
that's what actually happened.
All that makes sense. I can't even say that, that's off. It makes a perfect sense that why they would do that, why they would release the cut. But I'm going to be honest, man. I think that there's even more to it than that. I think that I'm starting to believe and buy into the fact that AT&T absolutely did have something to do with this. And I couldn't, and you had a dude the guy who was talking about it misquoted me and said that he said that I said that I can't see Zack Snyder going behind Warner Brothers' back to go to AT&T. I never said that. I said I don't see AT&T going behind Warner Brothers' back to talk to Snyder. And it doesn't look like that happened based on the Hollywood Reporter article. They said that Toby Emmerich called in Zach and he said, yo, what do we do? What do you got? What's going on? But when he apparently Zack Snyder invited in February executives from Warner Brothers and from AT&T. I believe it was 3 people from AT&T, 3 people from Warner Brothers, including Jim Lee. And I'm thinking to myself, like, dang, maybe during this situation, is it possible that AT&T looked at Toby and said, look, can you make this happen? We need something for our streaming service. It makes good business sense. I think that we should do this. Got in Toby's ear and he was like, all right, let me call Zach to the thing and see what he's talking about, and just got the wheels moving. I think that, I do think that AT&T did have something to do with that. And that's crazy to think about, to know that, and that's another problem that I have, to know that a telecommunications company could come in and buy a legend, a titan in Hollywood that knows how to build stardom and franchises and dictate to them what they should do is a problem. That AT&T Warner Brothers thing is a whole entire bad negative situation and fiasco in itself. And I think it's messy. I think it's a slippery slope, and I think it's wrong. And us fans are going to lose in the end. Who is the boss? Where is the hierarchy? Who is the dude? Because it doesn't look like even Toby is that dude.
Right, and we're seeing that at Disney with Kathleen Kennedy, Star Wars, everything, and it's like, look, hate Kathleen Kennedy all you want, but at least she did stuff with Spielberg and Lucas, right? She was,
Yeah.
you know. But you're right, AT&T stepping in and sort of making now content decisions. You're just like, well, what?
Yep.
We're not making
Incredible.
phones here, guys. What are you doing? But look, they're getting press today. That is what I really think the goal was. They needed
Yeah,
a press
I see that too.
for
Yeah.
HBO Max,
Yep.
and they needed that. They needed
The timing
something-
of it, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, they needed something that was going to get people to even talk about the platform, and now people are buying it. Granted, I don't think this army is as big as everyone thinks it is.
It's not.
They're just vocal, but
Exactly.
still,
Social
vocal
media.
in pockets that's now getting it out there, and we're all talking about it. So,
How does Warner Brothers get actually? If they let's assume they gave them $30 million to finish this thing, not even finish it. I need to stop saying finish it. They gave Zack Snyder $30 million to create something new.
To make it,
Yeah, to make the Snyder cut. So he's making a cut now. All right, good. $30 million. How are they getting that money back? Are they planning to do a Blu-ray release? I don't think so. It's going to be a streaming exclusive. How are you going to make that money back? Are you going to assume that people are going to subscribe for it? Are you going to put it behind a paywall? They have to. You have to put it behind a paywall because people are just going to free trial their way into regular HBO Max and then watch it and dip. What they need to do is put it behind a paywall that even in a free trial, you don't have access to it. Me and you talked about Peacock, Andy, on your stream yesterday about how there's a free version and then there's like a free with a little bit more ads version and then there's a paid version. I think that they're going to have to do that with the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Otherwise, what money are you going to make back except for relevancy?
Totally good question. I mean, I don't know.
You ain't selling toys off this motherfucker.
No, but I mean, I was trying to do the math, but then I saw but did you check out your Cash App for Knock Shadow? Because Knock Shadow just dropped. Bam! Knock Shadow. Thank
Knock
you.
Shadow. There it is. Shout
He
to
had-
oh shoot, $100. Yo!
Yeah, for each of us.
Knock Shadow, $100 donation.
That's worth instruction
What's up?
$200 donation. He's split those-
$200, bro. 100
Damn.
for you and me, Andy. What's
That's
up,
how you play
bro?
the game.
That's how
Knock.
we
You
get down around this bitch.
So he has that question. I'm sure he sent it to you too. But I was also trying to do the math. How much is HBO Max? $9.99?
No, it's 15.
It's $15. So we got
Ooh, shout out to Knock Shadow.
damn,
Cash App, bro.
I need that. Thank you, man. If
You
we
had a
do
question, too.
30 million divided by $15, that's how much 30 can someone do that math? $30 million divided by $15. How many Snyder fans do they need to sign up to make that 30 million back is what I'm trying to figure out. 30 million divided by 15, right?
Yeah.
They need 2 million signups. All right? Yeah.
2 million signups to break even, not even make a profit.
Yeah.
The time, effort, and the reason for it. But shout out to my dude Knock Shadow because he dropped
Knock
that
Shadow,
$100 on his bro.
Damn, I love that.
dude,
Man, he
Knock
keeps
Shadow.
going. He
Put
keeps
money
me
in
going.
both our pockets, bro. That's what we do out here. Stop playing.
That's what we're doing about.
200.
His question is a good question too. Does this hurt Patty's chances of doing Man of Steel 2?
Does this hurt Patty's chances for directing Man of Steel 2? Yeah.
I would think.
I would say
think
that,
no.
yeah. I would say yes from a fandom standpoint, no from a business standpoint. Like at Warner Brothers, if they already are looking at her for it, then I don't think so. But from the public eye standpoint and fans lobbying, they're going to lobby for Zack Snyder to direct the next Superman film. They're going to lobby for Henry Cavill's return to Superman and for him to direct it. And that public opinion can have an effect because I would have normally not have said this, Andy, but what is just happening right now? A fandom made Warner Brothers come to the table with AT&T and release a cut and release a new movie.
Right.
So anything's possible.
But Zach could easily nip that in the bud. If Zach was a respectful guy, which he seems to be, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. If he were to come out and actually say, no, you know what, I'm moving on.
He doesn't do that. But he doesn't do that. He don't come out and say nothing.
I would respect it and like let Patty, if Patty's shown interest and that's what's happening. If it turns out that he's now jockeying for it to take over for Patty to give it a shot, excuse me. That makes him look bad, in my opinion. So it's easy to twist that and make it on him. Like, whoa, why are you're back in here? Come on, you got your trilogy, you got your movie. Let somebody else do it.
Yeah,
but anyway, I can see this could now. There's definitely be a fandom who's like, forget it, bring him back. He deserves to do it again.
Yeah, that's what I feel. A Knock Shadow. I don't think that it'll. I think it could, but I don't think that it will. From the fans' perspective, the public eye will look a certain way. There's nothing I could do about that. But and then everything's turned upside down now. Warner Brothers doesn't mean shit to me. They hold a freaking fat L, bro. They hold such a fat L for this, bro, because you've opened the floodgates to getting trolled, manipulated, bullied, and intimidated into any situation they want to bend you to be in. This is a terrible position that potentially AT&T put Warner Brothers in. Potentially, because it's not really confirmed. AT&T and Warner Brothers both hold this L. It's not good for the future of DC, because the cult is going to hijack future DC films from actually thriving without Zack Snyder's name involved with it.
That'll be my first disagreement with you. I mean, yes, that'll happen, but I think you can ignore it. Again, they're not that big.
Ignore. Excuse me, sir. What is the name of this stream? The cut is coming.
No. I'm saying the next thing. If they're like, we need a cyborg movie, they're not going to have the same kind of steam. The reason this movement happened,
you're being naive.
The reason this movement happened was because of Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder kept teasing and doing it. They would need someone like that to be the shepherd of it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Zack's leading an effort to say, you know what, we're doing a cyborg movie next,
oh my God,
it's different. But if the fans are just complaining, it's not like Sonic's redesign. That was a bigger fan base, I would argue, than the Snyder cult, who's like, no. There was a lot of people who supported release the Snyder Cut, but I'm talking about the cult who's going to now become vicious and malicious and try to go after, other properties. I think that's, I don't know. I think that's smaller than we should give it credit for. And we shouldn't just bow down to it. I could see a value of this is going to help HBO Max. It absolutely does. From a business standpoint.
Yeah, of course it does.
Why not just release this out? I mean, that from a bottom line there, I understand why they did it. But yes, I agree. If they go and start now, pandering and taking whatever else they say, I don't think it's going to happen. They're not. Look, grabs. They said they're not. I mean, they would bring back the cast potentially for voiceover, like to do ADR and stuff. They didn't mention reshoots yet. Now that could change.
There's going to be reshoots.
Yeah, if Garza's right, they might just say, you know what, look, we got the cast back for a month to do that, do some reshoots to make it a longer piece, to have a finale or whatever. Movies do reshoots over the course of a week or two, and you can change the whole movie. That's what they did with Justice League. So, yeah, it's possible. And if Ben Affleck comes back and does some badass thing in the movie, yeah, that could give Robert Pattinson a run for his money potentially. But look, they made Joker. Joker,
and that's not good. And that is not good if Ben Affleck comes out and sees some stuff that the fans like. It's not good for Robert Pattinson. He's going to get trolled. He already is saying bullshit. Oh, I don't want to work out. You're making it real easy, Rob. God dang.
I don't believe that. I think that's just his dry British wit.
They're about to get this dude. They're about to come for Robert Pattinson, bro. Get him out of here. We want Affleck back. It's coming, bro. It's coming. And Henry Cavill was there, which says a lot to me because, Henry Cavill never supported the Snyder Cut. He's one of the only people of the cast who did not release the Snyder Cut. He was quoted multiple times, and he did videos of saying that he liked the direction of Man of Steel, did not really like the direction of Superman in BVS, nor Justice League. He really wanted to do something more of the lines of where Man of Steel was going to be a real traditional Superman. He also mentioned other Superman stories that he would like to tell instead of going back to the past, talking about the Snyderverse. He was very vocal how he did not really like the Snyderverse as a Superman character, him acting. Seeing him next to Snyder, and Zach says, what do you think, Henry? And seeing the look on Henry's face as he was dodging that whole entire question about the Snyder Cut coming out, he went all the way around a loop talking about how he loved playing Superman, and then he went to, I like to see me without a mustache. As a joke, I said, good job, Henry. Good job. You dodged that really well. And then they announced the cut and all that. I think that he brought him there because he's actually going to be in the movie more, because it really anchors and relies a lot on Superman. He was going to take Superman and run him through the ringer.
Maybe he'll change that now. Maybe he's had a talk.
And that's the point. See, and that's the point. That's what I'm talking about, Andy. That is such bullshit. The new movie that he makes, the Snyder Cut, is dead. It never existed, and it's dead now more today than it ever was, in my opinion. It's a new movie now. It's a new thing. So he's going to add and change storyboards. What pisses me off most is that he's not going to go with his original intention and ideas of 5 years ago, and he's going to change it and make something new that really wasn't his own original idea. So I think that's just terrible. That
sometimes can be a good thing. Sometimes an edit can actually help you. And with all that,
yeah, it could be.
Then I could see that as actually a benefit.
The way I say is stick by your guns, though. The whole movement was for that.
Sure, but he got it, Jody. He got it because he was never going to be able to finish the trilogy as they're now calling it.
I think he is
and
now.
He was never going to get that shot, and now that he's gotten the shot,
he is now.
If you're telling me, hey, Andy, you can finish your movie with what you got, or you can reshoot and do some more adjustments. That's always what I'm going to pick. Because even if you make your movie, Marvel, everybody reshoots. This cut wouldn't have been with reshoots. This cut would have been like what he shot before he left. So to give him the opportunity to do the reshoots is fair. So it is good. But you were correct. I don't want to you are absolutely right in that there wasn't a Snyder cut.
Right.
It's true. It wasn't a Snyder cut.
But I think you're minimizing what I'm saying though, a little bit.
That he wanted to redo and reshoot. That he's admitted it now.
Right.
Snyder wanted to finish his cut, is what it should be. Let Snyder finish his cut, right? Is what we should have called it.
Right.
Semantics to some people, but it is kind of important because people were debating.
Not semantics. People actually believed it is real.
People were debating, like, did this exist? And the reality is it didn't exist. There was an assembly of footage that clearly needed a ton of work, as I reported and got a lot of shit for. And that is a valid point, but the fact that he now gets to reshoot potentially and make it better, I don't see that as a loss. I think if anything, maybe it'll make it better. That I would love for this movie to not look. I would love for this to be good. I'm not going in to see this thing and rip it apart. It's got an uphill battle to me based off everything I've heard or seen. It's too dark for me. But look, if he can change it a bit and make and over time matured, sometimes that's good, man. Sometimes creators can get a new insight. And if that makes it fun and better, I'm all for it.
Maybe you don't see where I'm coming from then. Let me guide you a little bit. What if he changes it and adds a whole new storyline to it where
like a happy Superman?
Yeah.
What
if he adds that, and then what if he adds a tie-in that's lingering towards Atlantis and the Reef? You know, the future Reef movie that's coming up with Aquaman 2, after Aquaman 2. And then he ties into Suicide Squad 2, kind of, with James Gunn's coming up. He knows the movies that are coming out, so he could add little tie-ins to even weave himself even more into the future of the DCFU. You think that's okay?
Well, and there is still a report. Who knows if it's what's accurate anymore because things are changing. Because look, DC has changed their slate numerous times, so it does change. But there were reports that the Flash is absolutely going to shoot as soon as they can, and they have a script ready.
That's going to get done. No,
they want to reset with that Flashpoint. So
coming up for that's what that means. That wipes away Snyderverse, right? They ain't going to let that happen. Expect the cult to come for Flashpoint.
You're right. What I'm getting at is if that is true, maybe they'll adjust it and say, all right, fine, Cavill's not getting reset. Let's keep Cavill around. Affleck's not coming back. Just put Pattinson in. They might use that as an opportunity to try and let some of it still be there. But at the same time, look, the DC's has the multiverse, right? They have multiple universes. Like you can do two different places. Good, bro. Jody, come on. At least give it that.
Give it what?
The DC Comics, you can have multiple versions. Injustice, everything. There are multiple worlds where the dark world,
you cannot have that.
If Patty Jenkins were to make some light world, whatever, some better world, but then eventually down the line, you had
in absolutes right now. That sounds terrible.
Other one.
No,
that's what the comics are, dude.
Really? Look at what the MCU has done. Ain't no Elseworlds in no MCU movies. Ain't no Elseworld figuratively, this version, that version. It's a story about the characters of the comics that we know. Main canon, a lot of it's told differently. A lot of it is off, but they got the characters right for the most part. You got to get the characters right that we know and love first. You cannot do an Elseworld dark Superman movie and make a Justice League about him. He's supposed to be the light and heart of the team.
No, I'm saying make that happy pro night Superman movie.
So a mixture here, dark here, light here, dark.
Make that, but then there's no reason you can't. After you finally establish that, have some interaction with the dark Snyderverse that happened. That's what I'm pitching.
The dark Snyderverse has Batman, Flash, Cyborg, and Superman in it. Those are key characters. If it had Constantine and the Thing. Swamp Thing, I'm cool with that.
You can have multiple versions of all of those characters.
What are you doing to us? What? Multiple versions? What is this? Your universe sounds trash, Andy. Supermen in the same universe?
No, you have it's different universes, dude.
You need to tell me we can watch a dark dark Superman movie in 2017 of another director, and in 2020 watch a light Superman movie by another director. No,
I don't want to get hung in these weeds. No. Do you watch The Flash ever? The Flash moves around from different timelines and different Earths.
That's where they go. The
Flash is the bad guy.
You want a whole universe to be that? A Flashpoint?
My point is, the Snyderverse is a universe. It is what it is. There's no reason you can't make a new DC universe and go its own way. and then at some point have the Flash or somebody interact with, force those characters from those worlds to meet is all I'm saying.
No,
you can do it.
Once
now,
you do that, okay.
There's a lot of things that would have to happen for that to happen right. But all I'm saying is you can have two separate universes, and then
what you're saying, Antonio Biondi says you can't start a universe off Elseworld. He's absolutely right. Andy, what you're saying?
I'm just saying you can plant these seeds.
What you're saying is that Flash.
Dude, Michael Keaton's Batman showed up in one of those movies.
God!
That old Batman.
Oh my God! No!
You could do it.
No!
Whether it's good or bad, but my point is you could do it, Jody, is the point, correct? If Christian Bale showed up again.
What's wrong with you? No!
Dude, have you never played read the comics or
Let
played
Arnold
the game?
Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze pull up too then, huh?
You don't watch the Arrowverse.
Chill.
You don't watch it. But
chill.
Dude, imagine Michael Keaton's old Michael Keaton Batman movie. I'd watch the shit out of that.
So you mean to tell me you're down?
And the Spider-Verse does it too, which I'm all into the Spider-Verse because the Spider-Verse did it beautifully. Why can't DC do a version of the Spider-Verse with multiple Batman? Are you saying Spider-Verse didn't do it well, Jody?
They did okay. It's a cartoon, though.
No, come on. That movie was beautiful. That movie was near perfect.
Wait a minute, near perfect. Stop it. It's a cartoon that is revolving around one character, Spider-Man. It's not a whole universe.
It is a whole universe. What are you talking about?
Wolverine's in that motherfucker too.
They could do anything.
It's all different Spider-Man of different universes.
Look, all I'm trying to point is you can have multiple universes. Is all I'm saying. Just because they exist, you don't have to make a meet. But I'm saying the possibilities are endless. It's what the comics have always done.
No, I don't want. No. We don't need this. This is not good. That's terrible. I would I would leave DC for that shit. I'm out of here. So what? It's kind of what you're saying is that
either way, I'd watch an old Michael Keaton Batman movie in a heartbeat. Absolutely, I would.
Fine, but look, I'm saying this. Based on what you're saying, it's like Flash could run to another reality and bring V for Vendetta to that shit.
Sure, he could
bring the Watchmen. I mean,
he could do whatever he wants. Right? You could bring in Spider-Man in theory if they got the rights.
Come on.
That would be ridiculous. But my point
that should be just one film that does weird shit and then we just forget about it. Not a universe.
All it is like Joker, Snyderverse, Patty Jenkins Superman. You can have all of these as separate universes.
This is what I'm saying, Andy. You don't realize they were already doing that. They were doing the DC universe continuum and they were doing DC original films continuum. That's what Joker was in. Joker was the movie you want, an older Michael Keaton Batman film. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker was in that lane. Then you had the DC main universe of characters lane, which is Aquaman, Wonder Woman 84, Shazam, Black Adam, Suicide Squad 2. That's that. They were already doing that. Now with this whole stuff, all that could be undone. And Roger Givens, shout out to him, he says, what if he seeds in a way to reverse the flashpoint? The cut will never let the hope of the return to darkness go. Yeah. Because he's given a new story to make up, he could enroot his universe into DC's universe so bad that they have to just cancel everything and reboot everything. That's what he could do with this cut coming out.
Right, and I see the comment a lot. Someone just gave it to you, but everyone's saying, dude, Andy, they can't even handle one universe right, let alone multiple. I don't disagree with you. So noted, but I'm just saying you can if they had people that could do it right, you could have this world, and you could have the Snyderverse end with this Justice League cut, and then in 10 years have if someone clever can figure out a way to connect them, then great or whatever. But my point is, you can have separate movie universes in these comic book worlds. It exists in the comics.
All right, for sure. Let me get somebody real quick. Abraham Quirino. Jody is just hating at this point. What am I hating on? Are you part of the cult? If you're part of the cult, then I can understand why you don't like me. What am I hating on? I said that I was happy that the cut is getting their movie and Zack Snyder's vision will be complete. There's nothing else to hate anymore. You guys got your new movie coming out. I don't even call it a cut. You guys have a new Snyder movie coming out or series. Y'all won, right? What am I hating anymore? It's already happening. So come out of your freaking shadows and your weeds and tell me, what am I hating at this point?
It's all straw man bullshit. Oh, yeah. You said the one I hate the most, Jody, is when I don't know why I've stopped engaging as Block more, but there's always the one who's like,
Block button serious, bro.
It goes both ways. Fans were making fun of Zack Snyder's daughter. And I'm like,
who was doing that?
Who did that? And if anybody did that, they should absolutely be publicly condemned. I would never allow that. If I saw somebody doing that, I would immediately be like, what the hell? That's gross. Get the hell out of here. But when it goes the other way and they say, so you're, terrible things, they just sit there and ignore it. So it's everyone's trying to play the victim, and then they say, we're playing the victim. And it's like, we're defending ourselves.
Yeah.
We're literally just defending ourselves, calling out the toxicity who make it personal. I've never once.
Come on, Abraham. You got 5 seconds and you're out of here. Speak.
It's ridiculous.
Come on, Abraham. You want to talk a lot of shit. I your comment. Come on, get up out of here, Abraham. You got 10 seconds and then it's the Night's Watch coming. Yeah, motherfuckers want to talk all that shit, and when I call you out, you turn into straight pussy. Oh, what is it? Someone else said, you're not happy, Jody. I'm not happy for myself. I'm happy for SnyderCut fans who got to see Snyder's complete vision, because I do not believe that corporates and companies should interfere with the director's vision. I've always been that way. I do not like the cult. I'm happy for the fans. Freak you to tell me what I am. You don't know me. These nuts. So, Abraham, roll Abraham up out of here. Get him up out of here. He's slicing dice. Random Andy's channel. A multiverse is going to happen for the MCU. I can see that. Otis says SnyderCut coming. Finally. SnyderCut? Nah, this is a whole new Snyder project. And you know what? I think that's going to be a better thing, because I think that the Snyder project is going to be a better film or series than what the cut was. Because we already know about the cut, and we're going to use a lot of this against Zack Snyder, because he came out there and was very vocal about what was going to happen. I remember that Snyder said his little 5-movie arc about Henry Cavill coming, getting evil, black suit, manipulated by Darkseid, fights with Batman, Darkseid goes to the Batcave, kills Lois Lane, and Superman blames Batman for Lois's death, and then goes to proceed to try to kill Batman. That's what I expect. Yeah. And that is a trash film that I'm like, oh, really? I already know what his cut. I know why he's changing up now. Trust me, I know. Because that movie sucks. I already know it sucks. There's nothing saving that. But now the fact that he said it's going to be totally different, that is what scares me. It's going to be totally different. It's going to be I need a year to finish it. A year, Andy? Why you need a year if you have a cut?
Well, look, I believe that current situation, we don't even know where it's going. So I think they're just giving a blanket 2021 to be safe, because production's not even starting in some countries. They can start the VFX, but that can take some time to do it right. They're doing.
What I'm saying is, if he had a cut already, like he's been saying.
He didn't have a cut. I'm saying, but to give him a year to finish the cut, that makes sense.
Right. No, a year to finish it makes sense. But what I'm saying right here, definitively, if he had a cut like you all believed he did, why does it take a year for him to release his cut, Andy?
Right, and everyone who kept saying, well, Jason Momoa saw it. Dude, Jason Momoa was really like best friends with Zack and clearly supporting him, saw raw footage, and Zack sitting there Imagine watching it with Zack Snyder and Jason Momoa. Dude, it's going to be so awesome. Right here, I'm going to do this thing. I was thinking, we do the... That's the cut, Jason, I'm sure.
Exactly what I was saying.
That's what happened. He's sitting there watching a clip, raw footage. Zack's telling him what's going to happen. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. That's not a finished cut. And so it's like frustrating, because everyone's like, it exists. And then Zack did. I got to say, he did mislead us and was a little disingenuous in his sort of keeping it going.
Yes.
But it got it done. He got it done. He got enough
done.
Warner Brothers.
He forced him to the table and got paid. He won for show. He got $10 for Marcus, bro. Thank you, Marcus Hamilton, for the $10 donation. I appreciate you. He says, Jody might be right about this changing certain things in the universe, like the reveal of Martian Manhunter, bruh. If he shows Martian Manhunter, you're blowing the load. You're gonna blow more load.
He blew his load in BVS.
No, I know.
Doomsday.
He blew everything. We as DC fans are trying to recover to show at least something to the fandom. But he's even gonna reveal. He might even show that Green Lantern. Now what? Are you gonna have Green Lantern and Manhunter in this motherfucker? So now what we gonna do?
Darkseid is going to be in it. I've heard in the article. Darkseid's happening.
Oh my God, he's going to show Darkseid. Oh my God, you're going to show Darkseid. Let me understand what you signed up for, Warner Brothers. You freaking idiots. You're going to let him show Darkseid.
Don't trash it till you see it.
Trash it, see it. You're going to show Darkseid on a streaming service before we get to see him in film. Before we get to see him in a proper Superman movie, you gotta build 10 years for Darkseid. You gonna show him on a streaming service? Let me tell you something, you stupid, dumb, freaking Warner Brothers and AT&T bastards. You mean to tell me we gonna see Darkseid in a streaming service before Ava DuVernay can even show her New Gods movie? Bruh, that's whack. That is whack. You Snyder cults, you gotta admit that's whack, bruh. That is whack. How are you going to play? How is Ava DuVernay, a acclaimed director, making a New Gods movie that has Darkseid in it? And you're gonna show him first on streaming? Oh.
Facts, man.
This is my life. This is what I have to deal with for the next years. Confusion. Absolute confusion.
They did it on like Gotham. They had Gotham really show all these villains. You didn't do
That's
it to
TV,
do again,
bro. Man, we know you know what's coming.
This is TV. This is still TV.
No, it's not. You
Streaming
know this
is TV.
No.
Streaming is TV. I disagree.
I do not want to see.
TV.
You gonna show
HBO
Darkseid?
is TV.
Darkseid with movie characters. These are superheroes from films in the theaters we saw. Andy, it's not the same, and you know it.
No, I don't disagree. Rushing to it doesn't make sense, but he's absolutely gonna go there. And given that movie,
you're undercutting Ava's movie.
I don't care about New Gods.
Why, dude? That's going to be an amazing. It could be an amazing
like
movie.
Eternals. It's like Eternals. I don't care about Eternals. I don't care about New Gods.
New Gods is about motherfuckers that actually have. Man, come on, man. They're going to do a female Furies in there. Big Barda and Granny Goodness and High Father Orion and Darkseid and Apocalypse. That shit going to be fire.
Yeah,
those are the big bads of the universe.
Me enough with her
you know
movie,
you're saying no to Thanos. That's what you're doing. I don't care about Thanos. He's the Thanos of DC.
Darkseid I care about in a Justice League
He's
movie.
in New Gods. New Gods is him. That's his shit.
I don't care. You don't care
about his origin. You don't care about Darkseid's origin.
There's so many other characters I want to see before I see New Gods. That's like the last thing I care about right now. There are so many characters in the DC library. That's what we're focused on right now.
Did they not show Thanos after? Did they not show Thanos in the first?
No. Come on, Jody, you care about New Gods? Why? You care about New Gods over making a good origin, over making a good Green Lantern movie, over making a good Superman movie, over making another good Wonder Woman movie.
No, all that. Bring all that too.
Plastic Man movie.
No, bring all that too. But where was that energy when all you Marvel fans was doing backflips in the theaters when you saw a face of Thanos at the end of Avengers?
Dude, but you're not. Darkseid. I agree. I'm not fighting against Darkseid.
Yeah, you care about the big bad villain.
I don't want to see a movie surrounded around the origin of a character that I don't even know who he's going to face because we don't even have a Justice League in theaters yet.
You know what? The MCU would have been so much better. Let me tell you right now, the MCU and Infinity War and Endgame would have been so much better if they gave Thanos his own origin film. That's where they messed up. DC's actually going to do it.
Who is he going to fight? What Justice League?
Superman! That's Superman's arch freaking villain.
We gotta figure that out before we worry about the Darkseid origin story, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Why are you even showing Darkseid in the freaking cut next year?
Why would you show it in New Gods? Is my point. It's the same thing.
No, because in New Gods, it's setting up the world. It's not just Darkseid. It's the whole world. It's New Genesis.
Dude, what if that movie
and Apocalypse?
It again.
All right, fine.
It's possible.
Fine.
It's possible. Why are you giving her so much credit to make that movie, but saying the rest of it's all going to suck? You're very selective.
Who said all of it's going to suck? All of what's going to suck?
Who knows if New Gods is good or bad? I can't get stoked on that yet. I need to see way more about that to know. And I need to know
what I'm hearing from her.
Characters are coming.
The characters that are coming are the female Furies.
Time was stupid, dude. She couldn't juggle that movie at all. I need to see her do better. She doesn't know
female
the drama.
Furies. Do you want answers to these questions you keep throwing out? The female Furies are in the movie. She said Darkseid will be in the movie. The female Furies is a team of 4 people who are led by Granny Goodness. Big Barda will be in that motherfreaker. Calibec and Orion. It's about New Genesis and Apocalypse. She's laying it down. She's a good director. Wrinkle in Time, I ain't see that, man. I heard it was weak. But what I did see, I saw Selma, fire film, and I saw the best thing on Netflix right now, When They See Us. The 4-part documentary series, When They See Us, is brilliant filmmaking.
Did she direct it?
So, yeah, she did. I think she wrote and directed. I think she's the creator of the whole thing.
That and Selma, I like. That's her. She's good in that.
She's fire. So, absolutely, that's a reason to get excited about her movie. Why not? Why do we get excited about Quentin Tarantino's next project
Because
when we don't know nothing about it?
You got to. It's like throwing Tarantino into a DC movie. I don't know if he can actually handle that.
Stop it. Everybody hears Tarantino's name. They're excited, Andy, because it's Tarantino. I'm not saying Ava's Tarantino.
He writes a good script that we come to expect. Ava has directed 2 good dramas. Oh, my point is, I'm still not enough.
You know what? I hear people creaming over the Russo brothers already. Russo brothers, yeah, give them everything.
Who cares about their Hercules movie? That's such a dumb. We've seen
that.
Who
cares? Who cares? Is that a rhetorical question? Everybody cares about what the Russos are doing. They were doing backflips because one Russo just did Extraction on Netflix with Chris Hemsworth's Thor. You dumbing down the fandom right now,
dude. Look, whatever. I'm not creaming over Ava. She's like Oprah.
I'm not creaming over Ava either, but I'm saying at least give the woman a
social media trying to be the. I got no beef with her. At the same time, I don't care as much about her. She has not impressed me to a level. I'm like, New Gods. Yes, I need to see Ava's vision of New Gods. She's a visionary. No, come on. What are you talking? I'm going to give her a shot, but she has not impressed me enough. Where I'm like, I need to see her epic comic adaptation of New Gods. Who fucking cares about New Gods? That is not what DC should be focused right now.
Let me tell you, it's a hot summer day. It's 120 degrees in Florida. Bro, our car broke down on our way to the beach and we're 15 miles out. We got to walk 15 miles because there's no gas stations for some reason. It's weird. I don't understand. I'm giving you a hard time because I'm from LA. I'm looking at you, Eddie. Eddie, where the frick are the gas stations at? We need some water. We thirsty in this thing. So we're walking. We're 7 miles in, almost near exhaustion, passing out. And all of a sudden, a Pepsi bottle from the heavens falls down right in front of both of us on the dirt road. We both lunged for it. We both lunged for it. We lunged to the ground for it. But somehow, with your amazing physique that you have, you were able to get the Pepsi before me. It still has the watery suds oozing down the can. It's ice cold. And then you take the Pepsi and you're like, yeah. And then I say, hey, bro, let me get the first drink. What you gonna tell me? No, you can't have my first drink. I'll take the first drink of my can of Pepsi, then I'll give you a swig. What Zack Snyder's doing by releasing Darkseid first is taking the first drink of Ava's Pepsi, bro. Let her get the first time to show Darkseid first in her movie. That's what I'm saying. I hate when people ask for the first drink of my soda. Ask for the first bite of my burger. That's like you unwrapping an In-N-Out burger. I'll say, let me get a bite before you eat one. Come on, man. There's rules to this.
I mean, I don't like that either. I'm with
you. Motherfucker, I had to lay it out differently.
New guys.
Tyler Cordelis, shout out to Tyler Cordelis, $5, man. He says, Zach said in Man of Steel that a Doomsday destroyed a moon in one of the background slots. And oh my God, what is this? What is this I see? Ladies and gentlemen, my screen has just been taken over by a donation. And that's a big timer, motherfucker, right there. What is that? Sid B! $100 donation from the homie Sid B. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to my dude, Sid B. Shout out to my dude. Dropped $100 on us, bro. I can't even see. Wait.
Just takes over.
I can't see. This nigga Sid B. Hold on, wait. Where is that? I don't know. She took over the whole screen. Let me see how I get rid of this sheet.
While you're doing that, there were 2 others. You want to read them?
Yeah. Can I go to you? Yeah, go ahead.
Man of Steel, $10 donation. You don't need 10 plus years of characters. Not every franchise has to follow the MCU. The Incredibles, X-Men, Big Hero 6, all the other large ensemble films without solo or for each other. Solos for each villain hero. Yeah, good point.
There it is.
Did you get your screen back? And then Knock Shadow dropped 20. I don't want you to miss these 2. So, and then Knock Shadow get his own thought.
Put it over there to you, and then we could actually see.
Knock Shadow. I bet the CGI for Darkseid so Stream will look as bad as Steppenwolf did in Justice League. Darkseid needs the same CGI and reveal that Thanos got. I don't want to see 2 different versions of Darkseid, which is what we'll get. I agree with you on that one. There it is.
Yeah, shout out to Sid B, bro. Oh my God. This is a mess. I need to redo these alerts.
What Streamlab alerts?
I totally need to redo these. I forgot that I have them over here. That's where it was. And now it's here. Good. Now I can control it. There we go. Sid B's $100 right there.
Yeah, that's better. Now we can see it all.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, shout out to the support of Jody's Corner. This is what it's about, man. So I got that studio movement, all these other upgrades happening. Thank you, Sid B. I appreciate that shit, bro. I really appreciate you, man, supporting this channel like that, man. All right, let me see what he said. Sid B said, "What up, Jody? What's up, man?" He said, "I'm glad to see you get done with Avatar Book 2. I don't want to interrupt y'all show. I'll talk with you about it later." Tight, man. Shout out to Sid B, bro. Avatar 2, Book 2 reviews on my channel now, by the way.
Avatar 2? Oh, the show.
Book 2, yeah, hit Netflix, yeah. You don't start a Justice League universe with a Batman that has already been in the game for 20 years and the second Robin is already dead. God dang it, Tony, you know what time it is. And Dan of Steel, man, $10. Shout out to Dan of Steel. I appreciate you, brah. He says you don't need 10 plus years to care about characters. Not every franchise has to follow the MCU. That's true. The Incredibles, X-Men, and Big Hero 6 are all large ensemble films without solos for each hero and villain. That's you're absolutely right, Dan. You just said you don't need 10 plus years to care about characters. You're right. I had some deal of affection for Jor-El and Man of Steel, but that's irrelevant to everything we've been saying here. When you're talking about building a universe for the future, you do need to have more than just one ensemble film. You could have built the Justice League off top and then trickle out with solo movies later. That's possible, but I think the better, more cum shot worthy way is to have individual solo movies and then have that cum shot Avengers movie. MCU did it right, bro. Just give them credit where it's due. That's the best way to do it. Knock Shadow, $20 donation. Shout out to my dude, Knock Shadow, man. On top of the $100 he gave you and me.
Yeah.
He says, "I bet the CGI for Darkseid on stream will look as bad as Steppenwolf did in Justice League. Darkseid needs the same CGI and reveal that Thanos got. I don't want to see two different versions of Darkseid, which is what we'll get." And you're right. That is what we'll get. And I necessarily don't want that either. Shout out to my girl, G Knight. She's up in this motherfucker. G Knight, where are you at? I don't see you, though. Antonio Bendani to $7. Shout out to Antonio Bendani. He says, "The whole Snyder Cut is blowing DC's load. We're going to see Darkseid in streaming before film. It's like if we saw Thanos in Disney Plus first. Plus, if it originally came out, it would have been like seeing Thanos in Avengers 1 instead of building up to him." You're right. K-Dot says, "Zack Snyder is the type to kill Dick Grayson off screen. And if I remember, he did that. Zack also is the type who said that he would do a film where Batman gets raped. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Jody, and these fans want more than this film. They want him back." True. They, look, he was talking about a possibility that in his universe, Batman could absolutely get raped. And that's the realistic take. He didn't say it was in the film or not, but yeah, that's what he said. And he also said that, he doesn't like Superman and all that, and Henry Cavill feels some type of way. But I swear, man, I'm on the negative on this one, Andy. Overall, I think that this is going to be confusing for the future DC fans. It's going to be a nightmare for the hierarchy of who's in charge. Us fandom are confused. I don't think it's good. I think this did more bad than good. What do you say? Can we both play devil's advocate? Let's try to find the positive.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can see that side, but I can also see that this is probably more harmless than a lot of people want to admit to it. I think there's a toxic fandom to this that will bully fans and people and just enjoy this win. To win the war, as they call it, and I think that's silly. And I don't like rewarding that behavior. I never called the film trash. I don't like, just not liking a movie doesn't warrant that kind of behavior. Reporting sources that are saying they think it's a piece of S doesn't warrant that kind of behavior. None of this warranted that type of behavior, but it's out there. Now, that said, if there's people on their side knocking his daughter and stuff, they absolally should be condemned. Yeah, like that's not okay. But it's, as Henry Cavill said on his Instagram, be nice. You're getting more Justice League. We should be happy. Good. Congratulations to Zack. I see it as a congratulations to Zack. Everyone's congratulating him because, again, I really believe this was not supposed to happen.
It wasn't.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
It wasn't.
And I think I got to give him props for making it happen.
Something happened though.
It wasn't genuine the whole way. I do agree because as you've eloquently described, it's true. There was no cut everyone was seeing. There was an assembly of just random footage. A lot of work as reported. And so, look, he got his way. He's got the money. We're going to see what happens. Now the pressure's on for him because people aren't going to just give this movie. The fans will, but there's going to be a lot
critics, bro. We're going to look at magnifying glass on this thing.
And they're going to be extra critical on this. And will it be worth the extra 20, 30 million and all this headache is really what. So that's the thing. If it ends up being good, then I agree that could really put a wrench into things. Cause then they might be like, well, why didn't we listen to him? Why didn't we? He had a better idea. Why did we keep meddling with him? And who knows how much they were meddling. So if I'm playing devil's advocate here, honestly, I could see it depends how this turns out. If this does really well and critics are like, you know what, that is world's better. And let's be honest, it's going to be easy to be better than the Justice League movie. Everyone agrees that movie was trash. That movie was trash. And that's what I think Henry Cavill was most upset by. I was just like, what is this?
Superman was so good though.
He liked Man of Steel. I mean,
Superman was good in Justice League. He's not good in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
But I'm just saying, I've seen quotes from Henry Cavill's like defending and liked the approach to Man of Steel.
Yeah, he did. He liked where it was going.
I hope this. I like the fact that Zack gets to fix it. Gets to change it. I'm hoping that will take in some of the feedback he's heard over the years and attempt to make it better. And I to be fair, I do think Warner Brothers stripped the movie from him. They absolutely did, dude. And that was a hard. I can't even imagine what that guy went through with all that stuff with his daughter and everything. That's horrific. And then Joss. I don't know if Joss and Zack get along. I can only imagine they probably don't. They're probably colleagues or whatever. But Joss just completely came in and just changed the whole movie. He even admitted it. It's like a fourth of my movie is what you saw. So I can imagine as my own sort of filmmaker creator, that would piss me off. That would piss me off that I never got to finish my voice.
Piss me off too. That's why I wanted.
The fact that Zack gets to get out there and finish his voice, and the has fans who has his back, just like fans got you and fans got me. Look, I can't knock that. I can't knock that as long as we all sort of now just be like, all right, you got it. We got to move on now. Let's quit attacking each other. You won. We've manned up. I've said I was wrong. My sources were wrong. It's time to move forward, right, and see where it goes. But yes, it could be scary if suddenly now it's like, no, we need this. Now we need this. We can't let that happen. And I hope more calm civil minds will take over in that place, including Mr. Snyder, who will step back and like, yeah, come on, we're not going to just bully over and do whatever the hell we want now. We're going to do it within reason to make sure this was warranted. I see why some would say that, don't you?
Yes, I could see why people would say that. But it's comments like these that ring true, that do give some people trepidation. G Knight says we're about to have a DC universe with a dead Dick Grayson, and we may get a Cyborg movie before Nightwing 2. I hate it here. I do. There are a lot of fans that do not like the state. For the most part, and I don't know, you for the MCU, I know a lot of you guys are probably MCU heavy in the beginning. I wasn't. I was DC all day. And then the MCU, I was like, oh, okay, let me see what's up. But y'all didn't have it. Y'all don't want these problems. We had been through so much painstaking and agony as DC fans over the last 10 years. We're tired. I'm tired of it. Belied, he's tired of it. G Knight, she's tired. It's when it becomes hard to be a DC fan, that's when it's time to wave that white flag. It is becoming hard for me. But now that Zack Snyder is moving forward, and this might be a good thing to use SnyderCut, not the cult, freak y'all. Y'all could go somewhere in the ditch and get your butt raped by a meth head in the corner somewhere. I don't give a freak about y'all. Here's what I mean. For the SnyderCut movement, now Jody has entered the fray. Now I have to do reporting on this SnyderCut because it's actually part of DC now. It's actually a thing. So I have a big eye on all the news SnyderCut related. So now you have Jody reporting in on it now. So now I'm a part of the SnyderCut, not SnyderCut. You need a new name for it. Snyder.
I mean, technically it is the
program.
Snyder. The SnyderCut. It's going to be Zack Snyder's cut. It's a new one. It's
different. It's totally different.
They never had it, but they never had one. So this is now the cut. You know what I'm saying?
So the new Zack Snyder project. Bruh, I'm about to be reporting on this news. Zack Snyder's Justice League. There he is. That's a good one. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Let's watch that. Even he didn't put the cut, did he? The Zack Snyder cut in the promo footage. So we'll do Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm going to report on it. I have an eye on it because I need to see what news breaks. There's going to be a lot of news around this shit, bro, about corporate interference. There's going to be news about actors that are unhappy, directors that are planning to do this, directors and writers doing that. Oh, that character might show up in Zack Snyder. I already know they're going to talk Green Lantern, Manhunter, what Cyborg. There's going to be so much news that spawns from this. It cannot be ignored. And I don't think it's a small thing like you do, Andy. It's not just a put it on streaming. This is much bigger than that. I'll give it the respect to acknowledge that this is going to be huge. So I got my eye in the fray, and I'll be talking Snyder verse Zack Snyder's Justice League news more now. Marcus Harrell, man, he says AT&T Warner Media is doing right. Bring all the tribe of DC together and making amends and offense to build a better DCEU. Nah, that's not what's going on here. I feel what you're trying to say, but that's not what's at play here. This has been turmoil for 3 years now, all the way up from his exit from the film. So, yeah, I got my eye on this whole entire situation, man. So I guess we'll be able to take any questions that you guys have for me and Andy regarding this Snyder movement before we bail up out of here. Andy, any other thoughts that you have on this thing? Any worries?
I think, look, I have faith that this won't blow up into what you're saying it can. And look, it could, but I hope I've seen enough respectful fans that I'm hoping they do the right thing in this, and we all do. Look, I manned up and I said my source was wrong. I did hit it pretty hard. It's never happened. That was what my sources were telling me. Those weren't my words, but I believe the source. But the fact is, like, you know, I got to man up when the source is wrong, I'm wrong. So I'm going to do it. But a lot of these, I don't see a lot of fans, you know, I don't think they would have gone the other way. They never would have given in if this had gone on months. If Bud Light didn't happen, we weren't all stuck in our houses and they need the content, and, you know, the AT&T and HBO Max wasn't a thing, this wouldn't have happened, Jody. If HBO Max wasn't around, this wouldn't have happened. So that I'm more annoyed by the sort of like, we knew, we were right, you're wrong. Like, I wasn't wrong. That's what's frustrating to me. You know, it's like, yes, my story was wrong, but like this was an ever-changing story that changed recently. Things happen. And so I'm just more frustrated by that. You know, it's not even just sour grapes, but it's just annoying. It's annoying because it's like, you know, I'll never hear the end of this one. But the reality is, like, I stand by the report. I stand by the source. I do believe the source, the news and the people inside changed. And I just hope the Snyder fans will, you know, the real ones that aren't the cult will just, you know, a lot of them have to give them credit. They're like, you know, Andy, props. I respect you changing the story. You're part of the family now. Let's do this. I think that is the right attitude. Honestly, I'm going to go in and watch this movie with open eyes. I'm going to try my best.
We got to review this thing.
But we absolutely are going to review this thing when it comes out. Don't you worry. Absolutely.
That's what happens when you make such a big fuss about something. Now it's like, all right, what is this fuss about? This better be good. You know, and that's
but exactly, like, the pressure is on now for Zach to deliver.
It's high.
And will it deliver beyond his fan base? His fan base will like it no matter what, because they'll be like, I can't believe we got this. Oh my God, Dark Side. They're going to love it. But yeah, you make a lot of valuable, valid facts here. That it's kind of why, really? You're going to debut it here? Dark Side comes here? I mean, it was his plan all along. But
in the film. Yeah, it was his plan. That's tough.
I'll be curious. If this does well, I want to ask you this as we wrap it up, if you're wrapping it up. If this does do well, and it's better than we think, is there any part of you that can then see it and say, all right, fine, give him another shot? Is there anything he can do to get back into this universe and have you say, all right, I'll let him try it?
Are you talking about as a sole director of a film?
Yeah, just being back in the DC world, whether he's making another Superman or he makes another BVS 2 or whatever. Is there any version of this where he can come back into the fray with your blessing?
No, I would be okay with him being like an action director, a secondary director, because he has some of the best action I've seen in a superhero movie. The man's got talent. He doesn't have story talent. He does not know how to tell a story. His stories are trash. He knows Zack Snyder is the director of cool. If it's cool, he likes it. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I think this is cool. Great visuals. But there's more to making a good film than just it being cool and having good visuals. It has to have a good story and good characters. He does not know how to do that. He needs someone above him to show him on a leash, for lack of a better word, right? And I don't think that he's going to be okay with that. So no, he doesn't respect characters. He doesn't respect Superman. He doesn't even understand Superman. You know, that's the cold hard part. He don't understand Superman. You know what I'm saying? He don't understand how some of these characters even work. You know what I mean? So even Batman was that's a whole other thing that I don't even want to get into. But no, I'm not okay with that, Andy. I'm not. I would be open to him being a secondary action director for a specific film. But there's just some superheroes that he should not be able to touch. You know, he's more of a reality-based, grounded, what-if type of guy. that works perfectly fine with characters like Batman. Does not work with characters like Superman, even Wonder Woman for that matter, especially now since she's so solidified by Patty Jenkins' iteration of the character. So, I guess it would be a no for me.
Look, I'm excited to see his Army of Dark. Was Army of the Dead over on Netflix. To me, that's where he could shine.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yes,
I like the Dawn of the Dead. I like so if he
Watchmen,
goes there,
300, fire. I praise those movies heavily.
I'm not. I've never been against him. I just didn't like some of the choices he made with these characters. But as I've matured and watched and hear the fans, I understand why they do. Just I think we just have to. Some of us have to agree to disagree and be a little bit.
You know what I would be okay with? I would be okay with him being an Elseworld director that has nothing to do with DC heroes. You know what I mean? Like do a Constantine Far Out film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something like that.
Sure.
Contained. Something very contained.
Doing a Swamp Thing or something. Yeah, he could probably pull some outlier character and make it exciting again. But yeah, I don't know. I think look, he's gotten his movie. He's gotten his trilogy. That to me is like, you did it. Good for you. It's time to let some other people come in, take their shot at this and see what we can build. Because look, the reality is even though there's a fan base that appreciated it, the general masses did not, is the fact.
They didn't. That's a fact.
As much that upsets the fans, it is what it is. And you're getting your finale. You're getting it. Be happy. You got to take this and then let it, take this, enjoy the lap, enjoy the movie. Good for you guys. But that's it. That's it. You don't get greedy. But you're right. They could get greedy.
They will. The cult will. Tim Fabro says, I love Zach. Thank you for the $10 donation, by the way, to Tim Fabro. I really appreciate you, brother. I really do. He says, I love Zach this past 3 years. Zach has been in directing and creative limbo. This release will give him some peace and ease so he can move on to a new project. Hashtag another 300 movie. Very well said. I like that, bro. You're right. Just what Andy was talking about. His life has been held up by this whole cut movement. Now that he can finally get this out, I look forward to seeing what he has coming in the future. Awaken Fox, shout out to Awaken Fox, $10 donation. Thank you, Awaken Fox. I appreciate your support. She says, I'm excited and scared at the same time. Well, this is what you wanted, Fox. You wanted him to complete the vision, but now this is a totally different vision. He's adding to it. Tim Fabro also said, maybe this is how Zach will end up joining Patty Jenkins from Man of Steel 2, because I can't accept anything less than the Zod fight. Yeah, that's some high praises, Tim Fabro. There's no fight scene in superhero films higher than Man of Steel's Zod, Theora, all that fight action, bro. Bring that bar lower a little bit. That's not easy to replicate, man. That's tough. So yeah, man. So I think that I want to be really clear. Blue to Blue says, I understand where everyone's coming from, but to me, DC and Marvel are not about the movies. It's about characters, where they come from. And DC and Marvel had a lot of good stuff besides the movies. I agree with that. G9 says, it just hit me that this may affect Wonder Woman 3. Patty's Diana is not modern yet. Dang. Patty's not even going to direct Wonder Woman 3. So Wonder Woman 3 is probably many, many years off. Wonder Woman 84 is probably where it's going to stop. Then you're going to get some Amazon stuff. Wonder Woman 3 is many, many years down the road. By then, Patty won't even be directing the thing. I really feel like she's going to be looking at Superman by then. So let's hope that happens. But yeah, that's the Snyder Cut movement, man. Is there anything else that you don't think we've touched on? The future of DC, I want to be clear. The future of DC does not look bright right now. I have a lot of mistrust for Warner Brothers right now. I feel like they went back on their word. Warner Brothers and AT&T. When I talk about Warner Brothers, AT&T is included in that. So with Warner Brothers, and there's no trust from them for me. There's a lot of drama that's going to come from this. This is what I believe. I'm sorry to be so negative, but I've been making videos for a while, and I've got nothing but vitriol. I've gotten a lot of vitriol and hate and just evil death threats even because of a freaking movie. And that cool. I'll never forget that, bro. And I know how cancerous and toxic the cult can be, and I ain't effing with it. So now they're empowered right now. They're swole. They got venom, bane, freaking serum in their chest, and they feeling immortal right now. And expect a lot of vitriol to come out from that as well. Besides even all the vitriol we've seen in this comment section, bro.
Look, I say enjoy the win, but let's make sure you don't get greedy. I got to echo that just because I feel like that's the danger here, and I hope the fans will heed that advice and call it out if they see it. I don't care who it is. Like, take Henry Cavill's advice. You got it. There's more coming. Finally, we did it. Enjoy it. Let's be nice to each other. This whole idea of does it exist? It didn't exist. It didn't exist, but it will now exist. So look, I think everybody was right. Everybody was right is the reality here. And but just because you believed in something doesn't mean it was real, right? It happened.
Mm-hmm.
You proved it to be come to fruition, but it doesn't mean you knew more, you knew better. Zach said he believed in it. Zach kept saying it's coming. But I do think he was a little misleading.
Of course he
was. At the same time, I respect the hustle. You got to do that in this industry. Yes, he's being a little disingenuous, but that's how you succeed in this world, man. Hollywood doesn't care if you are honest. You got to trick it, right? You got to play the game. And if you don't play the game, you get spit out. So look, I don't entirely fault him for the game he did, because I never saw him be vicious or malicious. He did stir it up, I think, in a way. He could have, but the reality is, you say, why didn't he tell us more? Honestly, because he probably didn't have good information.
Look, let me make this.
Knew some good things.
Let me
say
something right here. This is what I'm talking about. Here's what I'm talking about, SnyderCut. Here's what I'm talking about. Somebody said, I saw a comment from this idiot Keek. He said, also F Simba. Simba, my dead dog who passed away in 2019 that I was broken over. He just said, F my dead dog, right here live in my chat. This is exactly what you guys represent, the cult. Something that in my personal life, I was really dealing with a lot of pain. And he just said also F Simba over a movie. You see the buffness that these keyboard warriors get to? That's the type of stuff that I have to go through on over a film. That's the hate, the vitriol, as low as a human being could go, is what he just did. This person who just who said that on me about my dead dog, I know this person who typed that has a mother and a father, and I hope and I know that they didn't raise them like that. Whoever you are, shame on you. May God have mercy on your soul, because you, my friend, are a terrible, dark, evil, Satanist type of person. And that's the type of people that exist within the Snyder cult.
But yes, atrocious. They sadly do exist in the Star Wars cult. But what the problem is in this one, I
speaks for yourself. You prove me right.
Not enough people are calling those people out, right? And then they're doing it under the guise of Snyder and the war. I don't understand what the war is. What bringing up all these personal things, like you say, that's a low blow. That's, to me, it's just like, you don't go there. You don't cross that line over a dumb movie. Yep. In any fandom, whatever it is. The reality, though, is right now the most vocal, terroristic fandom right now is this fandom, and they're empowered and emboldened now to say things like that. And, you block it, obviously, but it shouldn't just be us have to block it. It should be Snyder fans. You go, dude, what are you doing? That gives you guys a bad name.
They're okay with it.
You got to call it out. You got to spread the word instead of liking and but yeah,
that's what it is.
It's scary, because you're right.
Keep it honest, Jody. We wouldn't be here if you weren't. Thank you, Tim Fabro. I always keep it a buck, man. I always have to at the end of the day. Swag King, fanboys will be fanboys no matter what. Alex Savage, Zach should go over to Sony and do Brightburn 2. Yeah, that was a James Gunn thing. I heard him and James Gunn are kind of tight. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if they do something to tie in the Snyder cut, Zack Snyder's Justice League into Suicide Squad 2. That'd be something for the watch. Get him out of here. Yeah, man. That's rest in peace to my dog Simba. I love him dearly, and he reminded me. Thank you for bringing good memories and reminding me of him. Instead of it making me sad, it makes me remember my dog, my love for my dog, man. So once again, that's just a clear example of exactly the type of hate and vitriol that we get here. Someone told me that I'm worse than a terrorist. They hope I burn in hell. And I'm a bad, evil person, all because I do not like, or all because I said that a cut doesn't exist, which I was right on, Jody Damas. Once again, I want to let y'all know, Jody's been saying, ain't no Snyder cut. Not that one would ever come out. We even had a discussion. I said, I'm okay. I didn't say it will never come out. I said, I'm okay with it coming out in 5 years. That was my time frame. I said, I'm okay with it coming out in 5 years. I think this is too early, obviously, But I always knew that it would eventually come out. But I'm telling one doesn't exist because you need money and to finish it. And even Zack Snyder, that's the takeaway here. The Snyder Cut never existed, ladies and gentlemen. By his own words of his own mouth in Hollywood Reporter, it never existed. So all of that stuff y'all were saying it happened, it didn't happen. Only way for us to find out that it didn't exist is for him to actually get money to finish it, because he never would have admitted that. He never would have admitted that unless he knew that he got Warner Brothers backing to finish and make something else.
Right. Well, he didn't know. That's the thing we got to keep reminding ourselves of. He didn't know. He didn't know.
He didn't know what?
I don't think. No, Zack Snyder wasn't sure if this was going to close until this happened. I know.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't believe this was
in the recent, real recently.
Yeah, they can say they did. It is what it is, but I don't believe that they knew. I believe that they had hope. I believe that they were still in talks. I believe they may have had some people high up at AT&T who were like, just hold on. You know what I mean? Like, but the reality is like, nothing was a done deal until it happened. Why would they have waited this long? Why would they have waited till a week before launch to announce it all? You know what I mean? Like,
it's the timing. It's because of the streaming service. You're right. And they kind of rushed the announcement and everything.
Right.
Dan of Steel says there are dozens of versions of these characters over 80 plus years. Saying Snyder doesn't get the characters is wrong. These characters changed to stay relevant in society. Snyder is no different. Dan of Steel, let's just assume your name is Dan of Steel. Let's assume you're talking about Superman. You're wrong. There is 80 plus years of Superman, but what you're failing to understand is that all of the main canon action comic iteration, the main storyline of Superman, even though it get rebooted and replenished and changed and rebirth and New 52 and all that stuff, Silver Age, Golden Age, Bronze Age, Modern Age, the character of the essence of who he is over those 80 years has been consistent. And that's what you fail to realize. And it lets me know that you don't even understand who Superman is. There is never a canon bad Superman. There was never a canon murderous Superman. There was never a canon Superman where he did not believe or save humanity. His origin goes against that. Jor-El sent him to Earth to be a savior. That is who Superman is. I'm sorry. So absolutely, when I say Zack Snyder does not understand Superman, that's what I mean. And now I'm saying Dan of Steel, based off what you've said the last two donations, I don't think you do either. Because 80 years does not mean, oh yeah, there's many different versions. This miniseries, 6 books, a 6-issue series, Red Sun Superman. None of that is real. That's not main canon. Even Kingdom Come, not main canon. And I like Kingdom Come, but it's not main canon. So canon Superman is being told a certain way. The character always stays the same. Batman's rule of no murdering and doing for justice, that rule stays the same way. Has he murdered in Batman Returns in a comedic fashion and as a joke, setting clowns on fire with and balloons and shit? Yes. But that was Tim Burton in the night. We're not doing it. We're talking about absolute murderous. Here's my gun, bullets in your body, dead. That's what I'm talking about. Here's a branding. I'm going to brand you with this bat symbol. This is what Batman did in BVS. Let me know if this is Batman to you. Andy, you're a Batman fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
You got a bat tattoo, don't you? Woo! Look at that thing. Got the Batman hat on. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm Batman, man.
Andy, the Batman that you know, is he the type of person who will beat up criminals, break their bones? Probably. But then after they snitch, Batman takes his batarang, heats it up, and brands them. So when they go to prison, they get beat up and raped?
No.
Not
really.
No.
I would say it's not. I mean, that doesn't mean he couldn't.
Right, but that was the thing. That was a known thing. If you got the Batman burn on your body, you done told some shit. So now I'm about to get up in this hole or kill you. That's not Batman. So there it is.
It's Zack Snyder's Batman.
That's Zack Snyder's Batman. Exactly. That's Snyder's Batman. And, you like that. Y'all like that. It's just not for me. It's not just for me. That's not comic Batman either. That's not who he is. Sure, you got Dark Knight Returns, Part 1 and Part 2. Great graphic novels, right, by Frank Miller. But dang, they're graphic novels. They're not canon. They're not recognized as official Batman lore. But you made a whole universe based off of these 2 books. L. Tim Fabro, $10. Shout out to you, Tim Fabro.
Woo!
He says, well, in the animated Superman series, they did a great job of Superman being brainwashed by Darkseid. I think that was a dope approach, but he still came out as Supes in the end. Right. But we always knew that's what was happening. He was Superman. He was taken from his... That setup is different. That's done right. We already knew he was Superman when he got brainwashed. He was already the hero. But with Zack Snyder's, he never got to be the hero, then went evil. I'm like, God, can I at least see him actually be Superman first before you make him evil? That'd be nice. That was the problem of it. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys all for being here, man. I appreciate you guys. It's been a great stream. A lot of haters, a lot of people got sniped and got up out of there to the moderators of Jody's Corner. They had them guns out. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so very much for being here. Andy, any final thoughts? What you got going on, man? What's going on?
I want to keep going. I might go over to Twitch and keep talking this.
You want to keep going? Okay.
I'm going to keep going, I think.
All right.
Because I got to get those. I'm debating, but let's see. I've got yeah, I'm going to keep. I just want to. My question.
We can hang out longer here, or you could try to do. We could go to Twitch if you want to go to Twitch.
Well, my question was more because I want to do some call-ins. I want to get some call-ins to come in.
Oh yeah.
But I'll do here.
That's
I'll stay as
gonna
long
be
as
fun.
if you're wrapping up, but I'll keep going. But my point was like, what I'm curious about was like, will this really help HBO Max? Does this really help?
I don't see it.
Or I'm still stuck.
How you making the money? That doesn't come out for a year.
I understand why like it'll get some note right now, but I don't know if it's 20, 30 million. It's a lot of money to redo a movie you already have.
I don't see the business. I don't see the business sense here.
I don't even say that in a disrespectful way. I say that, you know what I mean? Like I'm just in a business standpoint. Is it really going to bring in that many subscribers is where I'm sort of torn, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why I'm curious. And that's why I want to, I'll stay here as long as you want me to stay here. But I'm saying if you're going, I might take some calls when we're done, in which you're welcome to join, because I'm curious, like what the fans are going to say here of like, is this really going to inspire people aside from, 1,000, whatever, 5,000? I'll be nice. 5,000 people. Is that enough? How many people do you think are in this SnyderCut fandom? What's your guess?
I'll say 25,000.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Nice. 25,000.
Sure. They get it trending to like that kind of level, right?
Yeah.
That's not terrible.
Yeah.
25,000 is pretty good. Yeah. Is that enough?
No.
Does that warrant $30 million?
No.
Joe Rogan's, gonna make, he's gonna make a lot.
Shout out to Raimi, bro, for joining the team. Raimi, tier 3, bro. Coins up in the air. Shout out to Raimi. Put them coins. Yeah, there go them Jody's Quarter coins, bruh. Welcome, man. Tier 3. You get your trailer reaction requests each week. You got the Tier 4 members only live stream next Thursday, hopefully with me and Andy doing the sponsors only live stream. Raw, uncut. Maybe we'll bring some booze and have some freaking fun.
Yeah, let's do some you're gonna do one, and then I'll do one. We'll do one on yours, and you'll come on mine.
Oh yeah, that'll be great.
Remember,
that'll be fantastic.
Channel, you guys are gonna get some hot and heavy Jody and Andy action.
Look at those coins. Our army of members is getting so thick. Look at that. Swarmed with coins, bro. I love it. Oh, look at what Dan of Steel came back. He says 1938 Superman would threaten and kill gangsters without hesitation. I'm not a huge fan, but I have some understanding of the character. You don't. You went to 1938 Superman before he was even really Superman. He didn't even have an origin in 1938, dude. You got to come up a little bit to where he gets his origin, the Krypton, the parents, the morale. He was just a drawing character on paper back then, faster than the speeding bull. He couldn't even fly in 1938. So please spare me. You're exposing yourself for not knowing Superman right now. You said 1938, the first year he came out. You're using that as who he is. He was still shaping as a hero. He was developing as a hero for 20, 30 years after that, bro. Come on, stop. There's a point somewhere around the end of the Gold Age, early Silver Age, where Superman became a complete character. And that's the character you got to go with no matter what. Come on, man. That's what I'm talking about. You got the logo. You made your name Dan of Steel, but you don't know Superman. You don't know Superman. You didn't know that Superman was created in 1938 from Jewish immigrants during World War II? World War times? Come on, man. It's crazy. Anyway, man. But yeah, I'm gonna roll up out of here so you could go do your
All right, no, my girl was just texting me. She's like, "What do you want for dinner?" I'm getting my order.
Yeah, pussy. Pussy with a side of butthole. What did you tell her? What do you want for dinner, Andy? What you getting?
She wanted to get Red Lobster. I'm like, I don't want Red Lobster. She did really well at a meeting today that she had, so she wants to celebrate. But I'm like, really? Anyway, we're still working it out, Jody. But yeah, if you're checking out, I'll check it out. Let's do. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna make a link. Let's do this. Fine. I'm just gonna go on YouTube. F it. Hold on. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna send a link. What do you have for dinner, Jody?
Dinner tonight. Red Lobster sounded good. Just for a second, them Cheddar Bay biscuits. I got a box of those in my thing.
Did you know you can make those at home just as well?
Did I know it? What? Well, hold on. No
you
way.
Can buy Cheddar biscuits. Yep, you can buy them at the store in the box, and I'm talking to a chair. They're really good. They're really good. You can make them at home, and they taste just as good. You can. I'm not talking to. Wait, what does he pull? You can absolutely make them at home. Yes, I think. Did you hear me? You can absolutely make them at home. They're just as good. You seen the oven? Oh, he knows.
Hey, what you talking about, bruh? I got 2 boxes up in there. What you talking about, Andy?
Watch out, bro. When I got that,
biscuits, man.
I lost interest going to Red Lobster once I learned I could just make them at home because I was like,
and they come out just like the restaurant, especially if you bake them. You can even put extra cheese.
Buy crab legs cheaper at the grocery store. They're fresher. It's a done deal. And then it's like, I don't really need to go. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't hate Red Lobster, but especially when all these crazy Karens are over there screaming at people to try and get the order.
Man, I saw that. Do you have what's the name of that restaurant? It's the Italian restaurant that'd be over here. I'm forgetting the name. Not Claim Jumper. What's the
Clam Jumper? That's Maggiano's.
Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, their menu's too freaking big.
It's all over the place. But their shrimp scampi.
Dude, I could do an hour run just on chain restaurants.
Their shrimp scampi is freaking excellent.
I want to do the Jody and Andy to discuss food. Sure, we could share it. We can learn a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Facts. All right, guys. Thank you guys so very much. This was so much fun. Lovely donations, man. Great support.
Damn.
Great viewership. There was like 500 people over watching us. Over 500 people at one point. Thank you guys so very much for being here. Popcorn TV. Twitch.tv/Popcorn Planet.
I'm gonna do it here. Here it is. I just tweeted out a link. Join me here.
Yeah, there it is. He put the link out there right now, so you guys can go over. Andy, you're going into the war zone, bro.
Quick conversation. I want to take your calls. We're gonna do a quick one. This stuff does well for me in the algorithm. It only helps. Gotta do it. I'm a beast. I'm a beast when it comes to the algorithm.
Are you ready for that, bro? They're about to come in there and break your shit.
Yeah, I love it. That's where I thrive. I love it.
That's why we work well together, guys. We can take
do
the
it on
pressure.
YouTube. I want them to find me, and they'll find me on YouTube. So, Uzo, send out the YouTube link.
He's spamming the link right now. So
not the Twitch one, Uzo. Share this one. Boom.
I'm sorry. I don't want no parts. I'll watch it, but I can't come to that. They're good, bro. I am nope.
I just asked Lewis. He says he's gonna come. So join me in.
Lewis, good luck, Lewis.
We'll talk. We'll see what we can do. We're gonna keep this going. But Jody, good job. Congrats on the support.
Man.
That was I'm and
all right,
good.
Swag King.
Well, I think you're handling this well. A lot of people thought you'd be going even crazier, but
for what, bro? Keep this shit 100.
I don't know. I know you.
They have me confused. I keep it 100. I said the cut don't exist. It didn't. I'm okay with the Snyder fans getting their finished project. F the cult till the day I die.
We're in agreement there, man.
There it is. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'm Jody. That's Andy. This was a special edition of Yin and Yang. Thank you, Knock Shadow, for putting bread in me and my homies' pockets. We are out of this thing, man. Deuces. Peace out, y'all.